Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and happy July 5th, like how we would say it. But I'm here with my guest. She is an amazing rising star. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside return to Slammin Sammy. Welcome back, Sammy. Welcome back.
Hey there, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking this invite to come back on Dudes at Ringside once again for your part 2. So, awesome, Sammy. So what have you been up to since the last time you were in the studios with me?
Geez, it's been a while since the last time we talked. I've been traveling everywhere and wrestling everywhere and doing everything I can to reach my dream.
Awesome. So where exactly have you been wrestling? If you had to put like a map of the country, where would you put the little dartboard, the darts in?
I have recently lately have been hitting up the Ohio area and all that sort of thing. So like between like Ohio and Kentucky, pretty much around there. So
wow, awesome. Like did you like take anything from those shows that you like changed to like your like way you do things in the ring from what you did from like just wrestling in the PA area?
Absolutely, yeah, because you get out there and you learn that like every crowd is different, and you have to know how to work the crowd, like when it feels like it's time to go to something different, then you have to be able to on the fly be able to transition to that. And crowds are different all over the world. Obviously you have your difference here in the United States, Japan, everywhere worldwide. Everything is different, so you kind of just have to learn to adapt on the fly as you're doing all these shows and events.
Yeah. So I've noticed a lot of your promo skills. You're very, very good at doing a promo. Does it take a while to cut a video for you, or do you like know exactly what you're gonna say before you say it?
So for me, I remember when I first started doing promos, first I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging because I grew up an only child. So all my life I've been like the introverted, quiet kid who just everybody leave me alone. I just want to deal with wrestling, and that's it. But I think, over time I developed more confidence as I kept doing promos. And I try my best to with the promos. Like I try to memorize or at least have an idea, of what I like to say. And sometimes most of the time I repeat it like 5 or 10 times to myself to even. And there are some times where you feel like you can't get it, but then you reel yourself back in, like, come on, no, you can do it. Come on,
I really like your confidence in yourself, and like it's a very positive thing. As I said when we were in the green room, it's, to me, it feels so, I feel so like heartfelt that a person with autism, you're in the ring, you're wrestling, you're in front of crowds. Most people I know with autism, they're nervous, be around a lot of people. Does it take a lot out of you to be around a lot of people yelling and screaming and stuff like that?
Well, I will say maybe before I get out there, because you're gonna have nerves. I don't I don't care how long you've been in the business for. If you don't have nerves, then you don't love it, nor you don't care. But I think once I get out to the crowd and I start making time for the character moments, then I feel comfortable, and I especially feel comfortable when we get like a when I get like a solid good reaction. And now I definitely do feel like now with a good number of matches that I'm getting comfortable around the crowds, and having to be that person they can look up to in the ring. And especially I love little kids. I do. They literally they literally make they literally make my heart melt. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. The kids, as they would say, the kids do this, say the darndest things. Like, what has the kids said to you? Have said it to you, like during intermission when you're at your table, and like, what have you been said by some kids? Like anything, any positive, cute messages?
Oh, they're always sending positive message, good, good match. You're a very you're a good wrestler, and all that type of thing. Like, I think I even remember one time this little boy was like, I want to be just like Sammy when I grow up. And that's just, the most wonderful thing you love to hear.
That's awesome. Are there any other wrestlers that you've been watching on the scene now for how like on the scene for indie wrestling that you would want to wrestle that you haven't had a chance to wrestle yet?
There are a lot of talented wrestlers out there. I've said before that Katie Arquette would be like a good one to get in there with, because obviously I've seen her around, and I've seen her work. So that would be someone who I'd really love to get in there with.
Awesome. I have one question in the chat that I was gonna say we saved to later, but I figured let it show. Cameron, you're on the Dudes at Ringside screen now. Ooh, he doesn't watch us. Here we go.
So I would say that my favorite wrestling move over the years, the one that I've especially done, is the Russian leg sweep. I call it the Motley sweep, because I love Motley Crue. So
we'll get into that. Don't worry, Sammy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically I love using that move, because I feel like, I mean, it's getting used now, like some bits, so it's nice to see. But I feel like before, it wasn't getting as much attraction as it should. Now it's getting some attraction to use. So and I enjoy it too. It's a simple move to put on people with no difficulty.
Just got to be careful. The person tucks their neck.
Right.
You sweep their leg, then I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You turn heel on Joe Panther second time. This time a front bump. Joe, I'm gonna give you leg sweep. Tuck your neck. What? And you don't catch the back of my leg. You're like, bleep. You don't take the glasses off like Lucius. You just clip me.
Right.
So you said you mentioned the awesome 80s band Motley Crue. Like, what would you say would be your top 5 favorite songs by Motley Crue?
Oh, geez. I would say my top 5 favorites would be, first of all, I think Doctor Feelgood would definitely be one of those ones, the beat of that one. And then the one other song I would pick, and then another song I would pick would be Girls, Girls, Girls. That one's just a very like groovy song, it's just very, very nice.
Every time I hear that song, I get like the awkward sweats because if I work around women, so that comes on and I'm just like, oh, I can't get really jolly hearing this song right now. All the girls feel like the girls are all staring at me, going, "You gonna sing the words, all right, girls, 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 sing the words. We'll judge you later."
Hey. Girl pride.
Yeah, I got girl pride. You see how many girls I interview, but still, that the words of the song is about strippers. It's just like, yeah, you keep singing that song. We'll remember that later, Joe.
Yeah. And then another one that I would too say the song "Too Young to Fall in Love." That's obviously that's a great one to listen to. Just yeah, and you have like sounds of like whips in the background and all that type of thing. So, and then the next one I would obviously say, it's still one of my favorites, even though I'm putting it at Motley Crue or at number 2 because literally it's my entrance thing. But Kickstart My Heart, obviously, because it's such a high energy song, and I couldn't think of a better song, to fit the character of Slammin Sammy than to that one. And then my number 1 personal favorite, it's actually because this isn't like an original that they wrote. This is actually like they wrote a remake of this one, "Smoking in the Boys' Room."
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really like that one. Just yeah, and the start of the official video too is like amazing and funny. So
when you're traveling with the folks to all these different little fun wrestling events, what kind of snacks are in the car, Sammy?
Oh geez, well we do have some like little snack bags in the car, but mostly I don't really put my hands too much on them because before the event we usually like to go somewhere and eat. So if anything, my dad will probably be touching them because he loves food. I'm just gonna say he loves
guilty pleasure.
Hey, it's better than some other bad addiction. So
yeah. I'm guilty. I love my chips. I love my
absolutely.
onions. I love the Doritos. If Doritos, you're watching this, good podcast is sponsored. Talk to us. This awesome lady right here.
Yeah, we'll get you a deal.
Yeah. Doritos. I'd say I'd try to get like some like the kombucha. Hey kombucha, what's up?
Yeah.
Healthy stuff. Soda's bad for you. Kombucha.
Right. Approved.
Yeah. Or seltzer water.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be like, hey, drink this seltzer water. Sorry. Remember my brain's out the whole episode.
Right.
So that like day before a show, do you do a different like workout regimen so you don't like hurt yourself like getting ready for the show?
I do like different workouts like the day before a show. I work because I have a personal trainer, so I work with her all the time, and she's always designing my program and helping me with different stuff to reach certain goals and to reach certain things coming around. Obviously I work out like during the week before the day of a show, but yeah, and I'm usually like working out in the morning. So
awesome. I see your gear, Sammy. Has it changed over time, or is that gear pretty much been the same gear you've used?
The black outfit is the new outfit. So yeah, but both two beautiful outfits. I mean, to be honest, they were both, and people like to speculate, be like, her parents bought that. They're like, spoiled only child money, and I'm like, no, that was my money. I'm like, I saved up the money, to buy that gear, because that's
You
what
tell him, Sammy.
that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to save up all the money to have the gear, because I knew the gear was going to be, a heavily investment, especially, if you want to get noticed, you have to have some sort of, look, or je ne sais quoi, if you will, about yourself, because I do believe the first one costs more than the second. So, but yeah, both are very wonderful outfits, and obviously, I think I have a unique look going on with the pants and stuff, because that's what I wanted in the first place. I wanted pants, and I literally picked out like the color scheme and stuff on my own. So yeah, I basically have two accounts that I have, both for wrestling and for other personal stuff. So those two are the same. I'll probably be making like a couple things here, soon, like maybe like a new top, and yeah, so yeah, the gear should be fun,
Well, when you get the new gear, don't forget to tag Dudes at Ringside. I definitely want to keep up to date on what you're doing and everything within your wrestling career, because you're part of my wrestling Dudes at Ringside world. You're part of the Ringside crew now. The Ringside crew needs to keep up with Sammy. So yeah, I also saw something really, really cool, Sammy. That was like, wow, I've heard people get theme songs, but a rock band made a song for you. That's so cool.
Yeah. That was actually a friend of mine that actually made that song called, She's Slammin'. It's a very cool song, and I'm glad like he made it for me. He makes other wrestlers' theme songs too, so it's a very nice, very powerful, like uplifting song, much like my theme song. So
awesome. I wanted to ask you about that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I have to add that to my questions to interview Sammy. I was like, can't just ask her about food and TV shows. Got to ask her about her theme song. That's pretty cool.
Right.
So, how come you didn't use it as your main theme song?
Well, because at the time I wanted, because that song got created long, after I made my debut and everything. So that came out very much later. But I wanted to have my own theme too, though, that sort of stuck out from everybody else. So, and I thought that, again, with Motley Crue, that theme song is just perfect. And especially for how I am, because I have an aggression style about me. So,
Have you changed any of your moves since any different style? Do you use a lot more submissions now? Do you where do you go? What would you say your fighting style would be?
I would say my fighting style is more of I'm more like a ground pounder type of deal, I mean, I have I'll throw a wrench or two, throw a couple different moves here and there, because obviously some moves, of the wrestlers, I watched, that I loved watching grow up, I'll throw some of, a couple of those things into it to add on to my, performance kind of, and also as a tribute to them in a way. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool, because a lot of wrestlers, you'll see them just using submission or just be a brawler. You use the ground and pound style, almost like Dean Malenko or
Right.
someone like that really mixes it up and knows how to hook you, like bring you around. Have you ever used like top rope stuff or no?
Um, I mean, not yet, not yet. Maybe maybe like a couple of things here or there. Maybe there are like a couple of things I like to do, but I don't really do much to anything. Crazy like the flips and stuff. Because well, I just rather beat on people. So
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Good answer. Um, with this being like where would you say this number year would you be in wrestling? Is this like your third or fourth year in wrestling, or like more than that?
I would say like because I would say this is like my I've been like a little like over a year in, so
Wow.
just like a little over a year in, so yeah.
Wow. Do you ever look back to your very first match and try to like decipher any of the moves that you did then? You're like, I could have did this better.
Yeah, I try also especially to do that, with every match that I have. I try to tell myself like, yes, you're allowed to be yes, be honest with yourself, be like, hey, work on this, work on that. But also, like remember that the critique should not be, because if you go too hard on yourself, then you're going to find yourself, upset and like buried in a hole and not wanting to get out. But you have to look at the critiques too though as okay. Like you have to look at them like more in a positive light, because you got to remember, those are just, especially if you're hard on yourself or criticizing yourself, it's just, to help you. You're just helping yourself more and trying to improve yourself by getting better each day. So I would say yes, definitely in the first match there probably was like a couple moments, and sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. It really just depends. And sometimes you can recall.
What would you say, Sammy, that has been your craziest spot you ever done?
Oh geez. Okay. I would say definitely like the I would say like definitely like the most craziest spot I have done is like recently, because I done this like I did like this intergender match with two guys. It was like, and there was two guys facing me and my partner, Autumn Breeze is her name.
I love
And
Autumn.
it was, she's amazing. She's been a wonderful help to me as well. So, but
Shout out Autumn Breeze.
yes, 100%. I remember it was like a double like cross body thing where I hopped off the rope and did a cross body, and then she did a hopped on for a cross body too, and we both landed on the dude, and then like he took a bump and we both went down. So that was like the I would say that's like the craziest spot that I have done, because hey, listen, you gotta be able to prove yourself, as a female, especially in a male dominated industry, that you can handle the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I argue I even hit harder than one. So.
Oh yeah. You gotta.
But
You tell him, Sammy. That's.
I've always had, even before wrestling. So.
You're an only child. You gotta be able to defend yourself from anybody that tries to get you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm the little brother, so I have to be able to block my head anytime. I guess being the little brother, I have to no after taking my first bump. Okay, now I know how to fall forward and not hurt myself. Like,
yep. Now
next
you know.
one's a back bump.
Yeah.
I say that with ease behind the fence. Nobody killed me, okay? But you break the lenses, you buy new ones.
Yep. You're good.
I warned that to all the wrestlers backstage, Sammy. I told the wrestlers this, that if you want to do bump, make sure you take my glasses off. Or if you're going to hit me in the face, bring some red glasses to replace them because they're hard to find.
Right,
I
yeah.
said that with between my teeth, like they're gonna all go on Amazon and find freaking glasses.
Yeah.
That'll be my dumb luck.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I have contacts. So
Oh geez. Oh, you wrestle with contacts on. Okay.
yeah, I do.
Do you find that difficult? Sometimes when it's sweaty inside the arenas?
I mean, I don't get too much like I don't feel the humidity or like cold air as much in my contacts as much because I normally put them on at home first before I leave the house, so that helps. I just need to make sure I keep, because I change them like monthly because they can go bad if you don't. So and just make sure you have enough solution.
Yes,
that's the more important thing.
The moral of the story. Right?
Yeah.
Watch, that's gonna make it on a clip on StreamYard. Sammy talks about solution for contacts.
Yeah.
You got that StreamYard? That's the only clip you found. Before we go, Sammy, if there was any kids that are watching this episode later on that want to get in wrestling like you did, what kind of advice did you have for them?
I would say, believe in yourself, 100%. Go in there, with a humble, attitude, willing to learn and willing to, take any criticism or note that you can be coachable too. You know what I mean? Because it's like, because some people have, difficulty with being coachable, but I've been, coachable for most of my life. So I would know, because the criticisms, like I said before, aren't there to, hurt you. They're there to, help you, like I said before, with being, honest with yourself and stuff. So, just, listen and learn and be confident, in your abilities. And also look out for yourself too, because I mean, if there's one thing I've learned in the wrestling business is you can't trust anyone.
Yep.
You really can't with all the politics and stuff and everything in it. So yeah.
Yep. Sammy, I want to thank you so much for coming back on the podcast again. If my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
So you can follow me on Facebook. My name is just normal on there, Slammin Sammy. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, just at Slammin Sammy official. And then TikTok. I mean, we can advertise for TikTok, I guess. Yeah. At Slammin Sammy 101 on TikTok too. That's also what I have. So
awesome. If my fans want to pick up any Slammin Sammy t-shirts, do you have them on sale when you're at shows?
Yeah, we have them for the prices that we have them at shows. So
okay. Thank you, Sammy. I'm Joe Panther the Third. Your turn.
Oh, and I'm Slammin Sammy.
And we will catch you in the next one.